In one corner, there's the man who's been at Joshua's side for his whole career.
Can we give a round of applause for Eddie Hearn, please?
In the other is Fury's man, Bob Arum. 90 years old this year, he's been working in boxing for half a century, promoting the biggest and the greatest.
It's like baking a cake. Who wants to really say, well, I'm putting the eggs in, I'm putting this item in? Just bring out the friggin' cake.
They say they work well together, but how is their relationship? Well, it's complicated.
Eddie is not the first Hearn that I've dealt with. Eddie is somebody that I like. I don't know if the like is based on Eddie so much as it is because my relationship with his father.
Bob's a character. Bob just phones me up and tells me what to do, basically. I mean, he's so condescending, it's hilarious.
Nevertheless, one thing they do see eye to eye on is that when it comes to big fight negotiations, it's best to keep the details in-house. Here comes that cake again.
Once the cake is baked, we'll tell you all.
I always get told off for talking about it by the fans, you know, oh, we don't want to talk about it anymore, so it's difficult.
So they're both trying to be coy, but here's what they've told us they have agreed so far. This is a 2-fight deal, so there will be a rematch. The first fight will take place in the first half of this year, with May and June targeted. Neither fighter will be in action before then. The finances are simple, 50-50, straight down the middle, and they've accepted that the first fight won't be in the UK. Sites including the Middle East, China and Singapore are all in play. But while Arum says this is sorted, Hearn disagrees.
I'm not sure where he got that from. Location's definitely not sorted, but we have had multiple offers from multiple sites and multiple countries.
Both sides say plans for the undercard are underway and there'll be no problems with the broadcaster. So while the big issues are either agreed or being addressed, what about the small, niggly details?
What is the fight going to be called? Is it Fury Joshua, Joshua Fury? Who's going to walk first and who's going to be announced first?
Who cares?
There is, however, one big Ukrainian spanner in the works. Alexander Usyk is the mandatory challenger for Joshua's WBO title.
He could try and stop the WBO title being on the line, but this fight is bigger than the belts. We want the belts, but we don't need the belts.
Still work to be done then, but Team Joshua and Team Fury believe there will be an announcement in the next few weeks. After that, it's all down to the fighters.
I'm 95% confident the fight happens, and I'm 100% confident that my guy wins.
I don't think anyone can be 100% confident about anyone. I believe our guy wins, but like I said, talk is cheap. We've got to roll the dice and find out.
What's going on? All right, let's jump right into business. So, Chris Mannix, Sports Illustrated, should be known that he also is an analyst, commentator for the DAZN, had a chance to talk to Wilder's co-manager, Shelly Finkle. The other one is, Al Haymon, and then you have JD's. So we're going to start here. Read this. Please subscribe. Right now, I got to get the time up on the screen. It is 12:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Tuesday, January the 19th, 2021. I'm T-Street Controversy with FV360. Take your time out, like the video. In the next 40 minutes, 50 minutes, we're doing 1 hour live streams daily, sometimes twice a day. Today, the topics are simple. Wilder versus Fury 3, or Fury versus Wilder 3. Is it going to happen? It's not looking likely, not in 2021. And despite what you're hearing, it's looking like it's fake news. That, listen, they can't force the fight. They can't force it. And then it's going to be litigation with COVID and everything. Let's talk about it. Let's see. Let's go this way. Let's go look at it like this. And do a little bit of reading rainbow. So, got to zoom in first. Here we are. So, recently released by Chris Mannix 15 hours ago. I'll go ahead and read it for you. I actually put the link right down below. Let me make sure. In the description box, also take your time out to follow me on Twitter. No, I did not put the link down below in the description box. Well, here we are. VBR. It is right there in the chat, and I'll put it down in the description box after the video for those who want to see it for themselves. In fact, they got a little video here. Let's let this play through.
And Anthony Joshua. For more, I'm joined by our senior writer, Chris Mannix. Now, Chris, I know you spoke to Eddie Hearn. What are the parameters of the deal for this fight or fights?
Yeah, I spoke to Eddie Hearn on Wednesday morning, and he told me that the financial structure of a two-fight deal between Fury and Joshua is what has been agreed to at this point. The fight is scheduled to be staged at some point in the summer of 2021. The site, the location, all those things remain to be determined. But in a negotiation like this, the financial terms are what really matter. Getting down to nitty-gritty and agreeing what each guy is going to get paid. Eddie said they've agreed to that. That's a major hurdle crossed in what is one of the biggest fights in boxing.
To be clear, though, this is after their current fights that are already on the books, including Fury's rematch with Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, if you're looking at hurdles that need to be crossed, you know, interim fights are the biggest one. I mean, Fury, as excited as he was about facing Anthony Joshua, did note on social media that he has to get past Deontay Wilder next. And Wilder did not look great in his last fight against Fury, but he possesses one of the biggest right hands in all of boxing, an eraser, and he can certainly put Tyson Fury down and scuttle all this. Also, Anthony Joshua, he could have as many as 2 fights before he faces Tyson Fury. He has to face Kubrat Pulev in his next fight. That is scheduled, and he could face Alexander
that's an old
Usyk,
video.
who is the mandatory for the WBO version of his championship.
That's an old video linked to a new article. So let me go ahead and read it. So, all right, this was 15 hours ago. While representatives for Deontay Wilder cling to rapidly fading hopes for a third fight with Tyson Fury, there have been preliminary talks to match Wilder against former heavyweight title holder Charles Martin. By the way, I like that fight. We're going to talk about Charles Martin in detail and about after we get through this. Former IBF heavyweight champion, the Prince, Charles Martin, had very exciting fights against Jared Washington, whom he stopped, and a big fight with Adam Kownacki. So, moving on. Wilder, preliminary talks to match Wilder against former heavyweight title holder Charles Martin in the first quarter of 2021. Sources familiar with the discussions told Sports Illustrated. Last February, Fury knocked out Wilder in the 7th round in a rematch of their thrilling 2018 draw between the two heavyweights, handing Wilder his first professional defeat. A contracted third fight scheduled for the Therma was scuttled after COVID-19 outbreak. Targeted dates in October and December were scrapped as well. In October, Fury announced that he had moved on from facing Wilder. Wilder responded by initiating a mediation, hoping to force Fury to honor the contract. Fury has been adamant in recent months that he has no interest in facing Wilder a third time, citing the bizarre accusation. We're going to show that video in a minute. Wilder has leveled at Fury. Wilder has accused Fury of manipulating his gloves, first positioning in a way that allowed Fury to cut Wilder's ear, then loading them with something the size and shape of an egg weight that caused a dent in Deontay Wilder's skull. It was one of several conspiracy theories Wilder argued without evidence in the aftermath of his defeat. In the telephone interview, Wilder's co-manager Shelly Finkle acknowledged that a mediator informed Wilder's team that Fury was refusing to face him. The plan now, according to Finkle, is to take the case to arbitration. Finkle said the plan is to file arbitration sometime within the next few weeks. We're going to go for everything we can, says Finkle. I'm a realist with what I'm up against. So that right there is a strong statement, what he's saying. I'm a realist. Let me zoom in some more for you guys. For what I'm up against. It's almost like it's like a last-ditch effort type thing. Finkle said the plan is to file for arbitration sometime in the next 2 weeks. We're going to go for everything, says Finkle. I'm a realist with what I'm up against. We have an agreement. Even if we didn't have an agreement, we gave Fury 2 shots. He has made more money than he ever seen. Deontay Wilder was very kind to him while he was going through his mental problems. Forget everything else. Morally, he should give his shot. So he's more on the moral than legal. It feels like he's depending on, Fury to give him the shot morally. Not that it's like a legal case there, but they're going to go for it and try it. Fury, however, is in deep discussions to face Anthony Joshua in a title unification fight. Last fall, financial structure for Joshua Fury fight was agreed to. Representatives for both fighters have been sifting through possible locations to hold the fight in late spring. I'm going to put late spring of 2021. That scenario will leave Wilder scrambling for a new opponent. Asked about Martin, Finkle said, one-time title holder Finkle said this. This is where the rumor comes from. It's confirmed. The co-manager of Shelly, Finkle. So to finish off, that scenario will leave Wilder scrambling for a new opponent. Asked about Martin, Charles Martin, Finkle said the one-time title holder was one of several names under consideration for a Wilder fight. So not confirmed. But for PBC, it does make sense. It's an easy fight that can be made, you know. So I would think they would go for that unless they do Andy Ruiz. But they're going to say they need a crowd for that. If we can't get the Fury fight, Deontay Wilder needs to be active. So look, they're talking. These are quotes from Shelly Finkle, ladies and gentlemen. These are quotes from Shelly Finkle. If we can get the Fury fight, if we can't get the Fury fight, Deontay needs to be active, Finkle said. If it's the worst case scenario, we're going to be prepared to get him back in the ring. And that's it. Let's go back down memory lane, shall we? See how we got here.
Tell us that silence is golden. But my ears can still hear and my eyes can still see. The Bible also tells us to be swift to hear and slow to speak. You see, what you don't understand, thief, what you did is what my people deal with all the time. Someone cheating them from providing their greatness into the world. But it's a burden that we cut off only to make us stronger. I saw in the first fight where Ricky Hatton was pulling down your gloves to put your fist in the improper position. Y'all tried the same method the second time, but this time you scratched flesh out of my ears, which caused my ears to bleed. It's impossible for a brand new 10-ounce glove to bend, to keep a smushed in form, or to have loose space. I highly believe you put something hard in your glove, something the size and the shape of an egg weight. Here's the reason why the side of my face swelled up in an egg weight form. And it left a dent in my face as well. But in the midst of it all, you still couldn't keep this king down. You would have had to kill me. In the end, it took a crab in a bucket referee and a disloyal trainer to throw the towel in just to stop me. Proverbs, the 6th chapter, 30 to 31st says, excuses may be found from a thief who steals because he is starving. But if he is caught, he will have to pay back 7 times what he stole, even if he had to sell everything in his house. And payback is coming.
That's some pretty bizarre shit. So from what I'm getting from it is Fury's stance is like, yo, you calling me a cheater and sending your motherfucking people. I don't want to do business with you. You know, and then Fury already feels he won the first fight and he definitely won the second one. By the way, Charles Martin is a PBC Al Haymon fighter. He's a PBC Al Haymon fighter. Did you know that Prince Charles Martin has worked with Sugar Hill Stewart in the past? I'm going to pull up a picture. So Wilder could potentially be fighting a man who's trained by the fighter who he accused of cheating. Bro, why this shit so bright? My bad, I gotta fix that. Look. It's Charles Martin. It's Charles Martin with Sugar Hill. Deontay Wilder and Charles Martin have the same manager, advisor, Al Haymon. You see how a lot of this shit just don't be making sense? By the way, take your time out. Do me a favor. Like the video. Please subscribe from T Street Controversy. We are here every day now. We're going to go for noon every day. Well, 5 days a week. Unless there's like some breaking news. We are here. We are here. I personally think that if they do Deontay Wilder versus Charles Martin, they're going to do it on pay-per-view.
Yeah, he's going to like it. He's going to get it from a real man. Damn woman beaters. We're going to beat that woman beater down.
Damn women beaters. Anyway, Gunner Forever has just donated $2 through Super Chat. Must have learned it from his dad. WTF. Deontay on crack in that video?
I mean, it sounds bizarre, bro. You know, what's failed to be mentioned when talking about like this scandal or these theories is that Al Haymon is a very, very powerful man. Very powerful man. The MGM Grand, like that's his building. He's got a lot of stroke with the Nevada State Athletic Commission, the California State Athletic Commission, WADA, USADA. Yo, he's a very powerful dude. So it's been extremely difficult for me to believe that all this nefarious shit went down under his nose. I can't believe it. Wilder don't know what the fuck he talking about. And I think that, like, yo, it's hard for me to believe that Al Haymon is talking to him and he's saying this shit. I don't think Al Haymon get involved in all that. Like, all that extra shit. Like, Wilder saying what? Like, let's just get him his fight, you know? Doesn't make sense to me, man. And if he goes on to fight Charles Martin, if Charles Martin knocks him out, is he going to accuse him? Oh, you worked with Sugar Hill Stewart before in the past. So, you know, you probably cheating too. Now, me personally, I like Charles Martin. I think that Wilder's going to defeat him, though. Got to keep it 100 right there, right? But we don't know what's going on with Wilder. I think that the ship has sailed. I think that, you know, as this quote from Shelly Finkle here, I'm going to go back and read some of it. Let me read this, right? Once again, in a telephone interview, Wilder's co-manager Shelly Finkle acknowledged that a mediator informed Wilder team that Fury was refusing to face them. The plan now, according to Finkle, is to take the case to arbitration. Finkle said the plan is to file for arbitration sometime in the next 2 weeks. Now listen to this. This is a quote from Finkle. We're going to go for everything we can, says Finkle. I'm a realist with what I'm up against. We have an agreement. If we didn't have an agreement, we gave Fury 2 shots. He has made more money than he ever has seen. Deontay was very kind to him while he was going through his mental problems. Forget everything else. Morally, he should give him his shot. The other quote, if we can't get the Fury fight, Deontay needs to be active, Finkle said. If it's a worst case scenario, we're going to be prepared to get him back in the ring. It doesn't seem like they're confident. It seems like they're more relying on Fury to be like, all right, you gave me a shot, so I'm going to give you a shot now. You see what I'm saying? That everything we can, it's like it's a last ditch effort. Like, it's like, you know, they're like, damn, they probably know they're not going to. For one, I'm going to be honest with you. All signs are pointing to, and it seems as though it's crazy that it seems as though hardcore, I'm going to say some of them are radicalized Wilder fans, don't want, like, they want to stop the Fury Joshua fight. It's like, are they going to be mad when they watch it? Like, damn, we tried everything we did to stop it. Almost like the election shit. Like, it's like that. It's like they don't want to see it happen, you know. So it's all confusing to me. But it looks like the fight is done. I mean, well, it looks like we know that they're not going to fight nobody else besides each other, meaning Joshua and Fury. And they're willing to drop their belts to do so. I don't know. We haven't heard anything about Fury dropping his WBC, but we know that they're not going to let the WBO or the IBF get in the way. At this case, it's only the WBO in regards to number one contender Alexander Usyk. But here, let's go up here real quick. Let's look at some Charles Martin stuff. For if the fight does happen, you know, I think it's going to happen personally. Wilder has to fight somebody, right? He's got to fight somebody. But yeah, man, Wilder been on some shit, man. He's got to get, man. It's just it's not a good look. It's not a good look. And then for him to be disappearing and his fans making up all these bullshit ass conspiracy theories and shit. And me, I don't like using the term conspiracy theories, but they on some fucking weirdo shit, man. Charles Martin, the Prince, 28-2-1 with 25 KOs. 34 years old. I didn't know he was up there like that, but that's not old for a heavyweight. That's still, you know, that's like prime. Gerald Washington, this was actually the last time Charles Martin fought was on the undercard of Wilder versus Fury 2. And Charles Martin, isn't he ranked #1 by the IBF? He's not the mandatory, but if he fights Wilder, it would be an eliminator to be the mandatory for Anthony Joshua Tyson Fury winner. You get me? Daniel Martz, this was somewhat, I forgot. Let's see what card was this. Oh, let me do this. What card was that? I'm pretty sure I covered it. Hellenius versus Gerald Washington on FS1. I'm pretty sure I covered that because I did cover Jamal James versus Antonio DeMarco. Gregory Corbin, where was this at? This was on the undercard of Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia. So Charles Martin has been active. And then he had that big fight with Adam Konoski. This was a very, very, very good fight. He lost that fight 94-96 on all the cards. And of course, he got stopped in round 2 by Anthony Joshua. I was at his fight when he won the title against Zara Glaskov, and Zara Glaskov blew his knee, and he has not been back since. And that was, wow, 4 years ago, the 16th, January the 16th of 2016. 16 was when the Prince Charles Martin won his IBF heavyweight title. And then the next fight he went on to defend it against Anthony Joshua to give Anthony Joshua his first title. And people were like, PBC sold the belt. But that was a big fight, though. They put a lot of money behind it. And that was on the undercard of Deontay Wilder versus Artur Szpilka. Alexander Povetkin was ringside. There you go. There you go. I'm getting back sharp again. Now, can he defeat Deontay Wilder? Oh, nah, yo. I don't know if I can say that. But we don't know what Deontay Wilder going to look like. Has he been training or anything? Do we know anything? You know, the homie just kind of like fell off the mat, man. Yeah, Wilder is 34, right? Let's see. Let's go look at pull up some rankings. So if you don't know, let's break down the heavyweight division for you real quick. Deontay Wilder, former WBC champion. Prince Charles Martin, former IBF champion. Tyson Fury, current WBC heavyweight champion. Anthony Joshua, WBA Super, WBO, IBF. Alexander Usyk, WBO mandatory. Him and Joe Joyce could be ordered to fight for a WBO interim title fight so that the Joshua Fury fight can go through. By the way, what is it? Joshua Fury or Fury Joshua? I'm leaning more towards Joshua Fury. They're trying to figure that out. Who comes out first and last and, all of that. Alexander Povetkin and Dylan White are in a career match, you might as well say. That's going to be on, what's that, March the 5th or the 6th? I'm going to do a video on that. Oh, by the way, earlier today, I had cleaned out the blocked. There's no more blocked. So basically, it says 0. I have no one is blocked on the channel, free speech. And that's not saying you can't get your ass, timed out. But nope, we don't block people here, ladies and gentlemen. Free speech, free speech. Trevor Bryan and Mahmoud Char are going to fight. You know what? Watch this funny shit right here. Watch this. This is hilarious. Watch this shit right here. I'm buying this fight here. It's going to be the mandatory. Get this. Don King has been holding on to a lottery ticket to try to get one of his fighters to get the winner of Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury. That's been Trevor Bryan. Well, now Char and Bryan have to fight. to unify them bullshit WBA WBA World and WBA interim belt. So here, watch this. Watch this. Don King is still putting on cards today. Here, let's go this way. Wait, which way? My man Don King. My man Don. It's only 2 minutes long. It's a little promo. And it's so cheesy looking. Like, ew. And then the dude, whoever they use it, I mean, God bless him, you know, but he can't even pronounce their names. So this is the official promo release for Don King's card on January the 29th. What's this, like next weekend or the weekend after? Don King has a pay-per-view card. Listen to me. Don King has a $20 pay-per-view card with Mahmoud Char and Trevor Bryan and Babak Shumanov versus God knows who and Bermane Stiverne versus God knows who. And they're going to show old Don King fights, and it's $20 and it's taking place down in Florida. Watch this shit. Please take your time out. Like the video. It doesn't take too long. Follow me on Twitter. It's right there in the description box at the top. T Street for life. Here, let me click play. Ew, Don King. But he out there kicking. I told you how I met him once. He smelled like mothballs.
Hello and welcome to DonKing.com. I'm Howard Ware and I got some great news for you. Streaming live from DonKing.com this January the 29th is the Return to Greatness, another night of boxing from Don King. This will be having 2 WBA championship belts on the line. We've got Mahmoud Char versus Trevor Bryan in the heavyweight division. Babak Shu versus Rafael Murphy for another championship on the line. Bermane Stiverne is going to be challenging Christopher Lovejoy. And there will be many other fights on the card as well. We'll be announcing those as we get closer to showtime. Cool part about this event, well actually 2 cool parts. The first, this is only $19.99. Don wants to make this an affordable event for the people in these trying times, and for $19.99, you and your entire family can have a wonderful night of boxing. Event number 2 will be Return of the Classics. Don is going to pull some fights out of the vault and be reminiscing and talking about some insight that you may not have been aware of from some of the classic fights from yesteryear. Here's an example. Larry Holmes versus Jerry Cooney. Everybody, and I mean everybody, really thought Jerry Cooney was going to take out Larry Holmes. And in fact, it was such a popular belief that even President Reagan at the time had a red phone put in Jerry Cooney's dressing room. Well, as we know, that phone never rang. So that's just one of the insights of many that Don will be touching on. A couple more classic fights I know of will be Tyson versus Holyfield 2. Hey, who can forget that one? And Chavez versus Randall, their first fight, which was also the first fight that Chavez lost in his entire career. So check back here often. We'll be updating the site with more information as the fight gets closer. But again, for only $19.99, you can't afford to miss this. Don is back. He's looking forward to, again, a good night of entertainment, and we'll be back soon with updates. So take care and God bless. Bye-bye.
Like, bruh. But, you know, I'm a low-down boxing degenerate, so I'm going to buy that shit. And I'm doing it for you, the people. And plus, I'm on punishment for not covering Ioka versus Tanaka. So I gotta cover some low-down cards to get back, you know, in the swing of things. By the way, Clarissa Shields' next fight is not going to be MMA, but boxing against Marie DeClaire on pay-per-view, Fight.tv. Going to be buying that. That press release came out about an hour and a half or so ago. So basically, I'm going to be streaming every day. Yep. It's going to be a mixture of streams, 1 hour long. You know, getting right into the, you know, the meat and potatoes of things, not, you know, bullshitting around like we used to in the past, because we got a lot of ground to make up. So it's going to be a mixture of T Street Uncut streams, boxing media Zooms. I'm trying to find time slots. I watched the whole virtual media day for the undercard for UFC 257 with Michael Chandler, all of them. And basically I'm trying to figure out how to fit that content in. So I want a schedule. So right now I'm testing out the 12 p.m. It's 12:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the next stream I'm going to make sure I have the time and the date up there so you guys, you know exactly what time it is. I'm trying out 12 or 1 o'clock, maybe 8 p.m. Eastern, you know, depending. But of course, after major fights, you know, we're going to be here, you know, and doing the post-fight press conferences and all of that. But yeah, so far we can expect a lot of boxing announcements to be made. One fight already off one card. The Chris Lovejoy fight is off. I saw Bermain Taverns is on the TBA. Well, I'm buying the Shields card. I buy all them shits. So I'm down for it. The Don King card is being held in Florida. There's no crowd in Florida, correct? I know the Tyson Jones fight was down there. There wasn't no crowd. But you never know it's Don King. You know, he probably knows somebody down there, probably got some dirt on somebody. You know he ain't paying nobody. Yeah, that was a rumor that was circulating around. I don't know where it gets where this stuff comes from, where Wilder was going to get like 32 million step aside money or whatever. I'm not no motherfucking lawyer. However, I do dabble in some law stuff, but when it comes to stuff like that, I'm not going to act like I know what the fuck I'm talking about. But it just doesn't make sense. And I can't find, I talk to people, who know people, and I'm trying to find a way to find some type of, even like a little like grain of sand to say, okay, this could possibly be true. Like, it's only like one person saying that, and it's like the reputation that person has. I'm not going to mention their name. I'm turning over a new leaf this year. It's like I'm burying a hatchet with the LDBC. But anyway, got to be the bigger person, even though I'm the one be starting this shit. But still, got to be the bigger person, So I be thinking like I be trying to trace back like, okay, well, is this person just saying this stuff or where's it coming from? And it's just like, where is it, like coming from, And especially after we just read the quotes from the interview that Shelly Finkle, the co-manager of Deontay Wilder, the handler, had just yesterday. They seem like they're, like relying on Tyson Fury to morally give them the fight. Not that they have a legal right to get the fight. I'm going with Stephen Fulton. If he has a Zoom call or a press conference, I'm going to try to get a question in because I want to go to a restaurant that he has out in Chester, PA, which is about 20-minute drive or so, get some crab legs or something. But yeah, we're going to be doing a stream for that tomorrow or Thursday if they have they're going to have a final press conference or a Zoom. So we're definitely going to be covering that. I missed the first one. I was on vacation. It was last week, I think. Something like that. I didn't have time. Yeah, I met Don King at the Deontay Wilder versus Bermain Taverns 2 final press conference. And it was showing Porter versus who on the undercard, I forgot. Yeah, but right now, talking about Wilder on YouTube, it's not pleasurable, because, how can I say? Okay, I tell you what. The main Wilder conspiracy theorist people are not on social media because they get slaughtered by like credible people looking like, how can this happen? You saw the debacle with Sugar Hill. We got to move on to Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis. You saw the debacle what happened with the Sugar Hill interrogation. Like it makes them look like real weird. And I think to myself, do you have regular jobs? Do people look at you and be like, yo, like, is it an act? Like, is it an act? Are you acting? Or do you really believe this shit? It's weird. No. Yes, and I'm covering the UFC this week. I got a busy weekend, man. And Leo versus Fulton, unless it ends before UFC, I'm not covering that until Sunday morning. That's how it is in 2021. I'm the content that brings the most views, and the most engagement gets more coverage than what doesn't. Because sometimes I'll be covering boxing on a bullshit fight. I'll be like sometimes the only person covering it, literally. Killing cats in the basement, brother.
Real Talk has just donated $3.99. It smells of cat urine somewhere. Is it you? I bet it is. Philly cheesesteak or NY steak?
Gotta go with Philly cheesesteak though, because there's so many variations. Anything outside of Philly is a mimic. It's hard to describe like a Philly cheesesteak, and it's a certain taste and texture you can't really mimic it, man. And you would think, why can't they make them like the same way in other places? Like I had a bodega, cheesesteak. I had to catch the bus out for a press conference or some shit, But nah, man. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna see. We don't know what's happening. And in regards to an announcement for Fury versus Joshua, I think it's Joshua versus Fury. I think Joshua is the A side, even though Fury's undefeated and he held all of the belts. Financially, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think Joshua's way more popular if they're gonna do it by that, you know. But that doesn't seem like it's gonna be an issue. But we don't know exactly when the fight's going to be announced, where it's going to be held. We do know, and the Saudis have shown us that they can build a whole arena in a short period of time. A very short period of time. You know, they built the whole arena in the desert. And you remember how fans, you know, and even media was skeptical, like, yeah, right. It's probably going to be some bootleg ass shit. It was beautiful. You remember the let me pull it up real quick. Ruiz Joshua 2 arena. That shit was beautiful, man. Where's it at? I'm probably not gonna be able to show it. It's gonna be copywritten. Oh, here it is. I got some. So we know they can do it. Here, let me go full screen for you. Why are they making me do all this bullshit? All right, no, I don't want your damn notifications. Get on my face. The mirror. Show it. Well, anyway, it was nice. Let's look at the images. Shit, it was nice. Look. You know, and they had like dressing rooms and shit. You know? Here we are. Look, even all of this was all custom, you know, and they had like at the bottom, like the box suites, like seats and everything. So we know that they can do it. By the way, FV360 had credentials. We were in the building. We were in Saudi Arabia. Talk about that. That's a life achievement, right? I could have went myself if it wasn't for my baby mom in fucking court. Oh, can't wait to go to court. Oh yeah, what do you mean like rules over in the Middle East where you can't drink, you can't get no hookers and stuff like that? It's going to be outdoor summer though. When was Ruiz Joshua 2? I mean, when was that again? And isn't like their summer like their winter or some shit? I mean, our summer like their winter? I forgot. But anyway, we got to move on because we only got about 17 minutes left in the stream. Let's go over here to here. Let's do this first. I'll be right back. I got to pull some shit up. Hey, let's go to, excuse me, a little bit of intermission while I pull some shit up on this other screen over here. I'm here. I'm just pulling some shit up.
Down he goes! Right hand, left hand! And I don't think he's going to get up! I think it's all over! I think it's over! Is he going to get up? Can he get up? Can he get up? He does! Oh my goodness! Somehow Fury has managed to get up. The referee is having a very, very close look at him. Is he going to allow him to continue? In the last round, is Wilder going to turn this one around? He has another big left hook. And Fury needs to hold on and buy time. His corner are imploring him to hold on and buy seconds, which he does.
You know something? Can I be honest? Can I be honest? I do admit that I have been feeling some type of way about, like, fighters. Okay, I want fighters to talk, and I want them to be active and shit, right? On social media and engage. But a part of me, I'd be like, yo, okay, like, we want to see you fight, and I want to see you talk shit. But are you, okay, all right, let me go ahead and say it. Are you kind of getting like a little bit fed up of like Teofimo Lopez and seeing him everywhere all the time a little bit? Is it like backfiring? Maybe it's me. And it's like, you know, he's saying conflicting, contradicting statements in different interviews and shit. He's fighting George Kambosos. We know that. What we don't know is, we don't know who Ryan Garcia is going to fight. He put something out on social media. This right here. Did I take it down? Let me show you this real quick. So where is it at? Can't wait for my next fight. Really is a dream. God is good. Fight to be announced soon. This was 22 hours ago. So about what, 2 p.m. or so yesterday, some shit? Eastern. On January the 18th, 2021. Tank Davis, you must know something I don't. So does this mean they talking? Or like what's you know, like the teams? Do y'all think it's happening? Y'all think it's happening? If it does happen, where is it going to happen? On the DAZN, Showtime pay-per-view? How they going to do it? Like I said in my last video on it, I'm just waiting to see how they fuck it up. By the way, I lost to 30 videos. I mistakenly deleted, somehow, some way, I mistakenly deleted like 30 videos. Anything after the Canelo, the Golovkin versus Romero weigh-in, I deleted all of it. Like all my videos, my Ryan Garcia video. Probably, I deleted hundreds of thousands, not hundreds of dollars worth of videos. About 200,000 views and shit. I'm very upset. So, I did the last video I did basically on Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia. It was like wondering like how they gonna fuck it up. You know, like is it really gonna happen? Because there's a lot of logistical shit, you know, with it.
That ring to me, they will all day long, every day. Anybody who steps in that ring to me, they will go down.
Yeah, Tank.
Oh my God.
Fuck up, nigga. Hey, Tank.
Oh my God.
I love you. This nigga talking mad shit over here, Tank. Look at this nigga, Tank.
2 rounds, baby. 2 rounds. 2 rounds. I don't care. You on pause. 2 rounds. 2 rounds. You're going to sleep. 2 rounds. Hey, it's not gonna hurt. I promise you, it's not gonna hurt. I don't care what you got. Yeah, all that. You better open up. You're gonna need a ladder to hit me. How tall are you? You 5'5". You don't need a ladder to hit me. You're gonna need a Stairmaster. Boy, you won't be able to touch me. You ain't never fought a 135 in your life. Just different. Just, I don't care what you say. You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing. Boy, I don't care. You too ugly to be champ. I'm fucking champ. And that's from Muhammad Ali. Boy, I'm pretty. You ain't never seen nothing like me, I promise you. You gonna go down. You see me with the whole time, man. 2 rounds y'all gonna take. Now, but you can talk to Mike. Have a good time with Mike. I'm waiting on that on me.
I don't know. I thought it was cringe. I thought it was a little cringe. I mean, you know, it created a lot of buzz, but I thought it was a little cringe. But either way, I want to see this engagement because why shouldn't they fight? Like, bro, make the motherfucking shit happen. I don't want to hear like, oh, well, they too young and all that bullshit. We tired of motherfuckers over marinating shit. But you know what they're going to say is going to need a crowd. So, Texas, Cali not opening up back no time soon. So I don't even know I was going to see that shit. Tank is small though. 5'5", that's being generous, bro. For real. I've seen him in person multiple times. Like he like way down there.
Oh, don't worry. You can. Hey, yeah, hit me with that shot. You're gonna need a Stairmaster, boy.
Yes.
If I would have hit him, you know I would have killed him after that.
Hey, keyword. Keyword. Would've. If.
Can your next fight be with this nigga, man? What the nigga? We on worldwide television. Can you fight this nigga talking mad shit, man?
We fighting next. We fighting next.
Let's go. Let's go.
Hey, you lying, nigga.
He said it.
The world.
Hey, the world knows. He said it. Next fight. There's no going back now. There ain't no going back. Hey.
So Ryan Garcia has said that Amber Alert. Probably gonna be my baby mom for real, for real, for real. Scares the hell out of me. Amber Alert, my bad. He said that Al Haymon had called up. Al Haymon was watching the Luke Campbell fight. If Al Haymon's watching, you know he's watching for a reason. He said Al Haymon had called up at And his manager was talking on the phone, and I believe that he said that he talked to Al Haymon himself. Al Haymon was like, congratulations. So they're looking. But that would mean there would have to be a co-promotion with Floyd Mayweather and Oscar De La Hoya in the same building. Remember when PBC was first created, it was an ugly split from Golden Boy Promotions. When Oscar De La Hoya, there was some shit going down with Oscar De La Hoya. There's not enough time for it to talk about the whole story. But Oscar De La Hoya was rehab. The story was that Richard Schaefer and Al Haymon wanted to purchase Golden Boy as a whole, you know, and Oscar just be the face of it. Oscar was like, nah, I'm the Golden Boy, you know. And then PBC was created. And there's been like, that was around the time where it was the Cold War, what was known as the boxing Cold War, right? Where Bob Arum and Al Haymon and HBO fighters and Showtime fighters, they didn't fight, period. It was no wiggle room, period. There was like maybe one fight, maybe a little couple other small ones. And it's reemerged again, where it was Loma and Gary Russell, where Loma went over the Showtime, you know, to get the belt. Bob Arum, nobody was there. He just was sent over as a lone soldier to beat Gary Russell. And that's how his reign had started. So, logistically, if it's like, I'm sure that Golden Boy wouldn't mind putting it on pay-per-view because they want to make money. And I think that it would make money. But the Zone has been putting so much into Ryan Garcia. Look at the views that he's getting them. So they're probably going to throw so much money at it. They'd be like, listen, this is guaranteed money versus you get a guaranteed certain amount and then you got to rely on back-end money to meet what we're offering you straight out front. That's why the Zone was so lucrative to Canelo. In a dying... I got a video on him.
On God and them and my city. Count Drago has just donated $2 through Super Chat. 130,140 pounds is fire. Is Fortuna versus Nakatme possible?
Yeah, it's possible, but isn't Fortuna fighting Devin Haney? Isn't that going to happen since Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney's not going to fight? And I think that the Zone is going to push for that. That's a whole different video, though. Things got Count Drago. Yeah, I don't think the Zone's going to let Ryan Garcia go that easy, bro. So, logistically, there's so much. Where does the fight happen? Will Oscar and Floyd get along? Will Haymon... And, you know, Haymon, from my understanding, and they've talked about it openly, meaning Eric Gomez, like Haymon and Oscar De La Hoya too. Haymon and Eric Gomez, the VP of Golden Boy, have a great working relationship. And Oscar has said himself, yeah, it's me that Al Haymon doesn't like. We don't have a great relationship. He didn't say doesn't like. I think he may have said that. It was at a press conference, so he said they can work together. You know, but is this a fight big enough where they're going to put their shit aside? Because to me, it's so much has to happen for the fight to happen. If it happens, that's great for boxing. I think it needs to happen. And because who is Tank Davis going to fight to be able to keep that momentum of being on pay-per-view going? You see what I'm saying? And PBC, it feels as though to me, a lot of people are confident that Tank Davis can beat Ryan Garcia. That Tank Davis may be a little too green for Ryan Garcia just right now. What do you have to say about Fred now after his interview with the WBC president? Why would I have anything to say about that? You lost in the... Y'all motherfuckers be lost. No, it wasn't about that. Like, am I supposed to be impressed? Like, he got the interview? Like, what is that? What does this stuff mean? So, just so we're clear, my beef with them was just like false bullshit and making us as a culture, black people, look bad like schemers and scammers and shit. Just making up lies to lie in our pocket. It's not like really like personal. I don't be giving a fuck. Right. However, I was greatly impressed and happy with the Bob Arum interview. I was like, all right, Fred, about time you motherfucking stepped up. Stop being a fucking dickhead. So he's not as radical as he was before, if you notice. Like, Fred then came down a little bit. He not talking that shit like he was. But I'm not quite sure that Ryan Garcia, you know, I wonder what's going to happen to him when he takes a shot from Tank. Can he keep Tank off of him? That's a huge height difference, though. Tank too green for Ryan? I was saying Ryan too green for Tank. Valencia is tight without Haymon. Legitimacy of content doesn't mean legitimacy of content is not because, let me educate you, young man. Just because you're able to get interviews doesn't necessarily mean you're credible or that your content, it just means you're able to. And, you know, like it doesn't mean that, you know. Your legitimacy. That doesn't mean shit. What are you talking about? The scam is obvious. It's super chat. Knowing that motherfuckers is lying and just doing it anyway. Haney right now was out of the loop, unfortunately. Unless the zone and the WBC really push Ryan Garcia. Personally, I don't think you should be able to defend an interim title. You see what I'm saying? You shouldn't be able to defend the interim title. Like him, Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney need to fight. And then don't get me started on the interim, I mean on the that bullshit belt, that status. It's not even a belt to me. The one Teofimo Lopez has. You know? No, despite what you may think, they're not. It's like people expect for me to do interviews, but that's not my strong suit. It's not what I do. So it's not difficult to get interviews. It's not. You know, you can contact them and there's a very good chance they'll talk to you. It's just that some, like Fred, are more aggressive than others. Like Fred has a reputation for, like, he will call you and be like, listen, you know, get on the show. I respect you, all that, yada, yada, yada. Like Fred is like, you know, he's very, how can I say, persuasive. You know, and he was a politician. Like, they listened to him. They be like, all right, we'll come on the show. Like, he knows, you know, like he can get people on the show. That's not the issue. It's just that when he was doing the bullshit, blindsiding them, people started stepping away and backing away. So he had to slow his shit down, you know, and stop being such a dickhead. So I watched Fred. Like, his content has changed. It's not as bad as it was. It was bad. Like, it was bad. What up, Donnell? You think Davis Garcia, Texas? I think that's where it's going. If it does happen, it's the only place it's going to go because they can have a live gate. You know, you get no more of my time, L. Wallace. Probably not never. So I did answer your question so people can't say I don't answer questions. But yeah, we're approaching the last couple of minutes of the stream. So I'm going to be back later on today with a stream. I actually got to check the emails and shit starting to roll in for fights that are getting announced. Like Clarissa Shields is taking on Marie DeClaire. That was announced. That's going to be, what date is that? March the 5th? It's going to be a Fight.tv pay-per-view. Women's Day, March the 5th. I'm going to be covering that. It's $30, $29.95. Whew, well, fuck it. I'm doing it. I'm going to sell that shit to you guys. All right. No, I was always told that I ask good questions during the interviews, but I'm not an interviewer. That's not what I like doing. I don't get the joy out of doing them. You see what I'm saying? That's what it is. It's not that I don't like. It's not that when I do interviews, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But anyway, I'm going to be doing interviews. I'm going to be doing interviews. So that shit's over. So we're going to see. We got to be back though. I'll be back later on today. We're going to be doing streams every day on boxing, straight to the point, 1 hour. 2-3 topics, maybe 4 at most, and then we're going to move on from there. I'll post tomorrow's link actually within the next half an hour or so.